Thank you for the opportunity to present on the topic of analyzing a brief for creating an autonomous line-following vehicle. A brief is a document that outlines the requirements, goals, and objectives for a project. When it comes to creating an autonomous line-following vehicle, it is important to carefully review and analyze the brief to ensure that the project is well-defined and feasible. There are several key aspects to consider when analyzing a brief for creating an autonomous line-following vehicle, including scope. The scope of the project should be clearly defined, including any specific requirements or constraints that must be considered. For example, the brief might specify the intended operating environment for the vehicle, or the types of lines that it should be able to follow. Resources. It is important to determine what resources will be required to complete the project, including hardware, software, and personnel. The brief should provide information on the availability and allocation of these resources. Schedule. The schedule for the project should be clearly defined, including key milestones and deadlines. It is important to ensure that there is sufficient time allocated for each phase of the project, and to identify any potential bottlenecks or risk factors. Budget. The budget for the project should be clearly defined, including any allocated funds and any constraints on spending. It is important to ensure that the budget is sufficient to complete the project as planned. By carefully analyzing the brief, it is possible to develop a clear understanding of the requirements and constraints for creating an autonomous line-following vehicle, and to identify any potential issues or challenges that may need to be addressed. This can help to ensure that the project is successful and meets the desired goals and objectives. I hope this presentation has provided you with a sense of the key considerations involved in analyzing a brief for creating an autonomous line-following vehicle. Thank you for considering this important step in the project planning process.